make sure you read the fine print.
Read it well.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you can probably tell by the title of this video, I'm just going to be sharing some of my tips and my advice on traveling as a student, taking holidays and whatnot. So I hope you all do enjoy watching this video, and without further ado, so the first thing I'm going to be talking about is location. So in terms of location, you really need to delve into the research. Like, you cannot ramp with research. If you're not too sure about where exactly you want to go to, I suggest that the first thing you want to do is think about what kind of holiday you want to go on. So is it a beach holiday? Is it a city holiday? Think about what type of holiday you want. Secondly, ask people that have been to wherever it is that you want to go to. Ask friends, ask family, anyone that you feel like is knowledgeable in that area or just knows about the country. Also, what I did was I watched a lot of vlogs. So I'd like go on YouTube and say, for example, I wanted to go to Ayia Napa or Cyprus. I would type in Ayia Napa vlog, and it just gives you like a vibe of what the country might be like prior to obviously your travel. And apart from vlogs and asking friends and family, you can also turn to good old Google. Just type in Google Ayia Napa reviews or Ayia Napa whatever, and just see what pops up, and just do your research properly and just read on the country. Okay, second thing I want to talk about is your budget, and this plays such a big role in holiday planning. Honestly, if you ain't got peas, you're not going anywhere. So before you even think about I want to go here, there, just make sure your bank is talking, you know what I mean, talking the hardest. Otherwise you're staying at home. I know as a student, traveling and holiday, the whole shebang sounds like a whole heap of money, but from my experience, when you stay within a certain continent, the continent that you're from, it does tend to be a little bit cheaper. So for me, for example, I went to Spain and I went to Cyprus, and they were not too expensive, not as expensive as it was when I went to America, if that makes sense, because that's in a whole completely different continent. So when you stay within your continent, it is quite cheaper. So if you are on like quite a tight budget and you know you can't afford to like travel out of the continent to like other continents like Asia or whatever, then do try and look into like countries within your continent, because they most probably will be within your budget. When you decided on the budget, you need to save money and save it properly. It's not now you go and put money in the bank and spend it, put money, spend it, put money away, spend it. You need to be so disciplined. Like what I did was I made a savings account, and every time like I made a bit of money, I put it in there. But what I would suggest is don't get a regular savings account. Get one that when you put money in, you can't take it out. You can take it out, but you have to like go into the branch or something to take the money out. So it makes it more difficult for you to keep spending that money, if that makes sense. Or if you know you can't discipline yourself and stop yourself from spending the money that you're trying to save, I would suggest just giving it to somebody else to save for you. To be honest, there's no equation, no mathematical formulation to, you know, making money. Just work hard. What I did was, for example, when I was going to, for my Ayia Napa holiday, the Christmas before, yeah, when everyone went home and they were doing family, they were doing Yorkshire pudding and they were doing turkey, I was busting my ass in Topshop, yeah, because I used to work in Topshop, doing full-time that Christmas, busting my ass. I was like, no, I need money in order to save for this holiday. So I was working full-time from the day that I broke up from uni to the day that I went back to uni in January, working full-time, 40 hours a week. Like, it was no joke, but I really wanted it. So that alone was motivation enough for me to, like, you know, bust my ass and just make sure I earned the money. And yeah, I put the money away. Come January, booked the holiday, and I was sweet. So if you're in uni, just try and find yourself a part-time job. If you're not in uni and you are making a certain amount of money, just put the money away like little by little, and before you know it, you will have enough money to, you know, pay for your holiday. Another tip is, if you're in uni and you're earning, you get like a bursary or some type of grant or even a loan, whatever money you get in, and you pay whatever you need to pay with the money, like your school fees or your rent or whatever, and you have any money left over, I would suggest that instead of just blowing the money, you could put some away towards your holiday as well. And the last thing I would suggest is, I actually personally would not resort to doing this, but if you're really desperate, you can apply for an overdraft. If you're a student, you can actually apply for a student account, and with a student account comes an interest-free overdraft, meaning that when you do go into your overdraft, you're not charged interest, so it's basically a free overdraft. So say I open a bank account with the bank, a student one, and I ask for an overdraft fee of £500, I basically get £500 for free. But it's a loan though, so you do have to pay it back, but when you do pay it back, it's on 0% interest. So if you're really desperate for some money, you can do that, and if you're a student, it's beneficial because you don't have to pay any interest on it. Okay, now it's time to actually book the holiday now. There's just so many websites out there. I'm gonna put some on the screen somewhere, but the one that I always go to is Travel Republic. Straight to Travel Republic. Every time I think of holiday, travelrepublic.com. So what these websites do is they give you like special package deals, which give you flights and hotel. And off of these websites, you can also book like your transfers, you can buy extra baggage, like everything all on one website given to you just like that. Really want to. Another way you can save money actually is by choosing a transfer flight, because they do tend to be cheaper. So a transfer flight is where, say for example, I am going from England to Ghana and I'm flying with like Emirates. Emirates does tend to stop in Dubai, so it goes from London to Dubai to Ghana, whereas British Airways, for example, will fly straight from London to Ghana. Transfers are obviously longer, you spend a longer amount of time traveling than you would a direct flight, which is a con. Another con is sometimes if you've never been to a country before and that's where you're stopping over at, you just don't know what to expect. Let me give you my experience, story time now. So on the way to Ayia Napa, that was like my first like big girl holiday, me and my friend, yeah. So we booked it and we did everything cheap as well. Booked transfer flight. We weren't even looking at where we're stopping over. So closer to the time now, we read it and it says stopping over in Ukraine. I'm thinking,
Yoo-hoo?
I was saying to my friend, like, it's calm, like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, it's only a couple hours, like, what, 2-3 hours? So from the moment we stepped into Gatwick Airport is in our own London, it's not even anywhere near Ukraine, but from the moment we stepped into the airport, when we joined the queue, yeah, to go and check in our bags or whatever, obviously because it was Ukrainian International Airlines, everyone in the queue was Ukrainian except my friend and I, like, so from the moment we stepped into that queue, when I say stairs upon stairs upon stairs upon stairs, I'm thinking, is there something wrong with me? Is there, do you know what I mean? Is there something stare at me written across my forehead? Somebody tell me, because I'm confused. Then they'll be whispering, then they'll giggle. Like, I felt so uncomfortable. It was disgusting. Like, I was just giving everyone rude looks, like, because why are you looking at me? I felt so uncomfortable. So we had stopped over in Ukraine and had landed in Ukraine, and the next flight to Ayia Napa had been delayed by like 6 hours. We didn't know who to ask, what gate to go to. And bear in mind, before we got on the plane to Ukraine, we had bought a bottle of Ciroc, so in duty free, so that was in our bags. So we're asking people like, where do we go, because we're trying to catch a flight right now. They'll look at you, then they'll laugh, look at you and laugh. Do you know how frustrating that is? Yeah. So finally we find like where to go through security again, and the thing starts beeping, beep, 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 beep. The woman said, open your bag, and she took out the bottle of vodka. She's like, you can't go on the plane with this, I'm sorry. And we're like, but we bought it in duty free. Like, since when could you buy something in duty free and get it seized from you? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So this woman's now telling us duty free and London Gatwick basically should have given us a red, I don't even know what it was, some red container for the bottle of Ciroc, otherwise no liquids allowed. At the time they weren't really explaining it properly because they couldn't speak English. All they were saying is this no. So I was getting frustrated again. Jane was getting frustrated. Jane, when she's frustrated, she gets rude, and these people, you don't rap with them because you're in their country. So I was telling her, Jane, calm down, because these people, if they catch you, all the airport staff are all dressed in army officer attire, so it was so intimidating. I think they were actually like army officers, but they worked in the airport. So we just say, bring our bottle, give it to us, I'm gonna ask somebody else, because she was just talking rubbish. Before you know it, the previous person that we'd gone to had gone and brought like 6 big army men on small me and Jane.
To do what? I
was so shook. Jane was getting so angry, like, is this necessary for you to bring all these people when all we're trying to do is find out why we can't take this bottle of Ciroc on the plane? Like, where can we find this red bag? And finally they were like, no, you cannot take this bottle of Ciroc on the plane. So we're like, you know what, let's just throw it away. You know, Ciroc is not cheap, but we had to do it. So they threw it away, and as they were throwing it away, we could hear more army people in the back laughing, looking at us and laughing, like, yeah, they threw away their Ciroc bottles, like, laughing. I was thinking, how immature, like, why would you even want to make people feel like this in the first place? Like, it was just, the whole experience was horrible. So yeah, that wraps up my story. If you do, you know, plan on choosing a transfer flight, you need to do more research on the country that is stopping over in, like, just everything. Another way to save money when you're booking the flights and you're booking the hotel is book in advance. So for example, I'm going to use Ayia Napa again as a example. Like I said, I worked the whole of Christmas, saved up bare money. January came, booked the holiday, and went to the holiday in July. So from January to July, that amount of time, I had already booked the flight and the hotel, but as time was going up, prices were increasing, but me, I was safe in it. I'd already bought my ticket. But for those who hadn't bought their ticket, it was peak for them because obviously the prices were just surging. So yeah, just make sure you book your ticket in advance. The further in advance you buy the ticket, the more cheaper it will be. And for hotels, always read reviews. Don't just look at a hotel and think, oh, it looks nice, let me book it, or it's cheap, let me book it. All the ratings are very important. Go to TripAdvisor, make sure you read everything that people have said underneath in the comments. And also, what helped Jane and I to book our hotel when we were going to Ayia Napa was its location. So that's another important factor when you're looking for hotels. You have to make sure, you know, everything that you'd want to do is in that area, because it's not now that you book a hotel and everything you want to do is like 4 hours away. Literally for us, the most important thing was the proximity of the hotel to the strip of clubs in Ayia Napa. That was the most important, you know. As long as it's close to the strip, we're fine. Make sure you read the fine print, yeah? Read it well, because human beings, we don't like to read. See how much you're allowed to take, your maximum weight. You just don't want to get to the airport and be taken by surprise. That's just long. Although I've said that these websites that give you the package deals are very helpful, it's also worth calling up the hotel to see themselves, like, what rooms they have available and the prices as well, because I know of someone who has found like a deal on a website, but she's called up the hotel and they've actually given her like an even better deal. So just before you book anything, do make sure that you've got everything on lock and you understand, and you know what I mean, you've got the best deal that you can possibly get. Otherwise it's peak when you find out that you could have got this for cheaper. So yeah, this has been a long video. I have actually been recording for about 30 minutes, but I hope it was informative enough. I know how stressful holiday booking can be, so just take time. Also take time, don't rush anything. When you see this, click it, because before you know it, they've taken your money, then they'll tell you non-refundable. Then what do you do then? So I hope you've all enjoyed watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. If you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? I mean, join the family, man. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
When I left them, I no day, no time. Said I'm about to bring a bag of garbage to my you can't do it.
But you gotta fuck with me and cheesecake. You know I love to go there. Say I'm acting light skin, I can't take you nowhere. It's a place for families that drive Camrys and go to Disney. They don't need to know all about business. You wildin', you super childish. You go to sleep and get some Kotex on my Bugatti. Don't make me get back.
I say bounce that shit like whoa.